the knowledge of the Son of God. And we're not full. That's what the gifts, that's what the calling is for. So that when I see that person, I recognize that I'm not as good as I thought I was. Because we're not. So, let's be careful how we parse our sentences going forward. Is it I, or is it we? Is it my, or is it ours? Let's go back to 2 Peter. We'll close it out there, and then we'll, with the aid of 2 more scriptures. According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue. What is this divine power? What is the greatest power? I open that up. What would you say the greatest power is? I know God, yes. But, not but, and. What is God?
God is spirit.
And?
God is life.
And?
God is love.
God is love. God is love. Love is the greatest power. And we have to really think about that. It begins with love. It ends with love. Begins with love and ends with love. According as his divine power hath given to us all things that pertain unto life and godliness through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue. Romans 5 tells us that God commendeth his love toward us, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. All things that pertain unto life and godliness, word and spirit, Christ, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises. We oftentimes focus on the promises and fail to glory in the tribulation. That's what makes us able to account ourselves worthy to receive the promises. That by these you might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. Great. We have the promises. We know what these are. But I want to deal with these things that Peter gives us to rage against the strongholds that still imprison us. Faith, virtue, knowledge, temperance, patience, godliness, brotherly kindness. Because here we have a program whereby a sinful man becomes a perfect man. You know, it's funny. There was an old television show, The $6 Billion Man. $6 Million Man with, was it Lee Majors? Lee Majors. He's a bionic man. He said, we're going to come together to make this man a better man. They just gave him a few bionic parts. He'd been in a plane crash, so they gave him a bionic eye and one bionic arm. I can't remember whether or not it was the right or left, and I think portions of his leg. But here, from the inside out, faith. the faith of Christ rooted in our hearts, which is the sign of the new covenant, a circumcised heart. Virtue, which, loosely put, you can look at Luke 8 and Mark 5 when he heals the woman with the issue of blood. I have felt virtue go out of me. My time is waning, so I'm giving you the scriptures. Please look these up so that you recognize that I am not speaking of myself. Proverbs 12:4 says, a woman is a crown of virtue to a man, or something to that effect. But all to get us to really think about what virtue is. It's a Christian energy or intention that actually focuses, or initially focuses our faith. Focuses that which roots us and grounds us. Focuses our life. See, the woman knew what she wanted to be, whole. And all she had to do was touch the hem of his garment, and the virtue just leapt off of him and changed her. It's just virtue. Knowledge.